so many survey platforms like SurveyMonkey or something like that for feedback sessions. And for assessment, most probably during the COVID time, people used Google Forms, right? Google Forms for assessment. And we have ExamNet, Kahoot, quizzes, and all. So these are all some of the assessment tools. And apart from that, even we have some different platforms like creating word puzzles, word search, this kind of fun based assessment also we can use it, right? So this is the these are some of the things. Any online performs or chat tools or video conferencing tools can be used for communication and collaboration. And for content creation and delivery, we use any learning management platform. For example, Google Classroom, Moodle, Schoology, um, Talent LMS. There are so many LMS available. We can use any platform for that. Even if you have a specified customized learning management system, we can use. Most likely many of the teachers, they are using Google Classroom, which is free of cost also, so we can use it. Because we have already have that Google workspace which was already paid by the management. So as a teacher, we can utilize these platform for as a LMS to know the progress of the learners. And also we can use some interactive simulations for like for example MATLAB. If it is of some statistics, we can either go for SPS, PSPP, or R language, Python coding. For even for programming, we can go for some online compilers. All these things we can use it for content creation, also for content delivery. And lot of educational apps are available. We can also use because nowadays every students are just connect with their mobile phones. So with the mobile phones they are using this, we can go for any apps which will be very much helpful for them to learn the content. Then for an assessment and feedback, we can go for any online quiz platform. Even in the GCR, creating quizzes are also possible. Through LMS also we can have it. And otherwise we can have quizzes, Kahoot, some Nearpod, this kind of things also. We can give some quizzes. So if you go for this kind of quizzes, we can go, uh, we can set up a graded quiz just to know whether the learning content is clear to the student or not. So for most of the formative assessments, we can go for any online quiz platforms. So that is what the automatic grading means, graded quiz. And peer review platforms where we can go for the Survey Monkey. Any kind of surveys we can take like a feedback, because this is very, very important. Even the aim for conducting an assessment is a sort of feedback about not only learners learning, it's also about teachers teaching. So we need to conduct an assessment in every single class. This is very, very important. The next is, what are the different ways we can integrate the technology in our teaching learning process? Is that if it is a 50 minutes class, may I know what is the learning hour for one session? Is it 50 minutes or 60 minutes? One period means how many hours, ma'am? 50, how many minutes? 40 minutes or 50 minutes or 60 minutes?
50 to 45 to 50 minutes, ma'am. It varies.
Okay, 50 to 55, 40. Okay. So it's not more than 1 hour, right? So if it is in this case, we need to plan how we are going to utilize this specified time. Generally, we used to do 5 minutes or 10 minutes for giving an introduction about the content. If it is a first class, we used to give an introduction. So before that, we just want to know what is the prior knowledge of the student. So this holds good for every single class, recapping the prior knowledge or revising the previous content, how much they know about it. So we'll, for example, if it is a 50 minutes class, let me say 5 minutes for recapping, or 5 to 10 minutes, or otherwise for a surprise quiz and reviewing about it. And the next 5 minutes or 10 minutes to introduce the content or introduction of the content. And then we will be having going into the content and asking them to solve for a problem. Either it could be an individual problem or a group activity, right? So whether how we are going to plan, whether it is a personalized learning or an active learning or collaborative learning, that is what here it means. If we are giving an information, then based on that, if we are asking them to do on their own individual learning, right, the personalized learning is individual learning, where we can adopt the flip mode also, where we can share all the learning content at least 1 week prior to the class where you're going to engage. And that we need to ensure whether the content has been learned by the learners or not. So this is very important, so that lot of tools and techniques available, so with the help of them we can identify whether the learners or learn the content. For example, we can share the ppt or the pdf in the lms, and we can give a small quiz based on the content what it is there. So we need to know whatever the content we are sharing for them to learn at their own pace, that need to be in a very low level. For example, in a Bloom's taxonomy, can you tell me what are the levels of Bloom's? Anyone? How many levels are there in Bloom's? In the chat box, can anyone type what are the levels? 6 levels. Super, ma'am. What are the 6 levels? Okay, remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create, right? So all the courses may not be in an evaluate level, but most of the higher education courses are designed to at least to the apply and analyze level. The least level should be apply level for any higher education course, and the maximum level could be create level, right? So for any course, we want our students to apply, analyze the thing, right? So how we are going to plan for it, so that if we are giving for a flipped classroom, the level should be only in the remember and understand level. The apply level concept and all should come in the face to face class engagement, where we will give a high stake problem for them to solve. And then the active learning, so active learning, we can give some tools or we can give some worksheets for them to work on based on the examples or scaffolds which we are providing, or the learning material which we are providing. So based on that they can use. So we can create the active learning methods using the interactive simulations or virtual labs, or through by means of games like Jeopardy game, word puzzle, word search kind of things. And also we can implement the virtual reality or virtual tools kind of it, because if nowadays we are not permitted to take them to industry, or if we want to take them some to some industry, but it is very far away, the budget is not meeting us and the time limit and everything. So in that case we can use virtual tools also for making them understand. So to make them actively learn that content, we can also go for virtual tools. And then comes into the collaborative learning. So collaborative learning, it's a platform where we can actually connect among the peers, and also we can connect across the globe. So these are the opportunity, like for example, like I said, Google, right, it's a mind map which can be shared. The mind map link can be shared among the groups or the among the peers, and everybody can participate on the same instant. That is the idea of going for collaborative mind mapping. So for example, in a chapter, if we have some around 10 topics, but we need to review the entire 10 topics, it is not possible. If you think it's not possible in just completing it in half an hour or something like that, we can always split the entire class into small small groups and assign certain topics to them, and we can create one Google map or one mind map topic, and everybody can give their input, and at the end of the 50 minutes or 20 minutes we can see the entire mind map of the entire unit. So it will be very much helpful during the reviewing process, that is before the examination. If you wish to do some recap of all the contents what we have learned in the past 1 month, it will be very much easily do with the help of Google. Okay, so this is what we call it as collaborative learning, where the entire group or the different peoples can work together in the same platform. This is one example. Next, we need to identify what are the barriers when we start implementing the ICT tool in our classroom practice. So first and foremost, we need to find the tool which could be adapted by our curriculum. This is most important. So that is the reason why I asked you to just think about the skill what we are going to explore among the learners. That is more important. So any technology what we are using must align with the curriculum goals, that is learning outcomes. This is very very important. And whatever the tool we use, that should be familiar to the teacher and the learners. That is very important. So if you're planning to handle a session of 50 minutes with the help of the tool, so before that you have to give them some brief introduction or an eye opening session on how the tool works. Then only the time could be saved, or the time could be managed in the given allotted duration. So this is very very important, the training and support. So many of the universities, they have some ITKM service, information technology knowledge management service system. So if we have any glitch, we'll have a support. If for example, if you are using some MATLAB and if we have an error, there is a MATLAB support team available. If you just give them a query, they will help us. So like that, if you're going to choose any specific tool, we need to identify what kind of support system we get if we are come up with some of the problems when we are implementing it in our classroom practice. This is very very important, the training and support. Lot of YouTube videos will be available for any tools which you're using, because nowadays YouTube creators are abundantly putting informations across YouTube. So that also we can take it as a support, and we can build our knowledge, or utilize how to utilize the tool effectively in a classroom practice, that we can plan. Then comes the access and equity. So when it comes the equity, whatever the tool we are giving, it has to be utilized by all the students, all the learners. That is very very important. And all should, for example, if you are going to ask them to download the tool and use it, it may be difficult for the students to use it. So what kind of support or what kind of thing we get? And also we need to find about the accessibility. If some students are having a laptop, some student or not having a laptop, only the mobile, whatever the tool we use, that should support with the mobile phone. So whenever we choose a tool, we just want to see the flexibility of the tool what we are going to use it in our classroom practice. So the access and equity, it's very very important when we choose our tool for learning practice. Okay, here is a statistics insights and how the technology is really helpful in promoting the learning among the higher education students. So the statistics says almost 80 percentage of student engagement can be bring in with the help of technology enabled learning. And there is also the statistics says, if we are going to monitor the progress through the learning management systems, at the end of the duration, almost 15 percentage of their learning skills level will be improved. These are the statistics from the research. Okay, so this itself shows how important is we all have to move into the technology enabled learning practice. Okay, so now let me share a link. I will share a link in the can you just click on the link? Where is it possible for you to access the link? Are you able to access the link? Can anyone respond?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what you have seen in here?
It's an idea board,
Okay.
and we can add a content delivery. We can give assessments, and we can get the feedback, and all the
So
things options has been given.
I've given a three sections, right? So in each sections for content delivery, what are the ICT tools you are using? So like that, can you just type? Everybody can access. Just add the button. I'll show you. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, ma'am,
Okay.
screen is
You
visible.
have this. Yeah, you have this plus button, right? So if you click on plus button, the slide will open. So you can just type your content over there for content delivery. For example, if I wanted to say PPT, you can say PPT. And also you can give an oath. For example, if many of them says what you wanted to say, and you can give them an oath. No need to type it again. So can you all please do it for assessment and feedback? For example, I'm just saying Google form. And that's what if I'm typing PPT and you also want to give PPT, then don't you can do it like give a vote. Like if you just like it, you say okay. So around 10 people they are using PPT. So like that we can understand. If the number is 10 here, then we can say based on the vote we can say how many of them using the things. So like that can you please use it? Even you can use it through your mobile phone. Just click by clicking on the link, you can give you this. So this is a tool, for example, this is such a tool where if you want to create an interaction among the learners in the classroom, and if you want to do some brainstorming ideas, we can always do through this idea boards. Have you heard about this particular tool earlier? Anyone? Anybody know this tool already? Okay. Now we can use this tool. This is an interactive brainstorming tool, collaborative tool. So we have seen the sessions, right? What are the collaborative ways, communicating ways, and for idea creations? We can very well use this particular tool, ideaboards.com. Apart from content delivery, PPT, videos, we can use any video conferencing tools, right? Like Zoom. That is also for content delivery. Engagement and collaboration. Are you able to access this board? Because definitely it is accessible because already one person has given video. So like that participants, can you please use this and can you share the list so that I won't repeat that particular tool for you and I will give you a new tool. Mind map tool, we can use it for collaboration, right? Mind map. Or also we can use Google. So like that, can anyone give? Jamboard, super. Jamboard, my Nearpod. For assessment and feedback, Google Classroom, super. Any LMS, we can use it for engagement and collaboration. Okay, Zoom will come under content delivery. So those who are not willing to type, at least give a vote. Which are the things you will be using? Just give a vote at least. Quizzes, very good. Quizzes, Kahoot, ExamNet, Quizlet. There are a lot of tools available for assessment. For feedback, we can use Google Form, SurveyMonkey, Quick Rubric, super. Those who are not willing to type, if it is same, just give a note. By just clicking on the plus button, give a vote. Nearpod, okay. iSpring Shoot, Menti, okay. Mentimeter, Slido, Participy, a lot of tools available. So even if you just ask the AI, it will give the complete list. Google Drive, Google Drive is for assessment and feedback. Google Drive is a platform where you can store all the contents, right? Maybe Google Docs or Google Sheets where you give feed the content and asking them to work on. That could be an assessment, but not a feedback, but not as a drive. Okay. Thank you so much. Kahoot. Okay. Okay. So let me. Okay. Let me do a review or a demo of one more tool, which is called eduaid.ai. I'll just copy the link and share it here. Are you able to click on the link? Link, please. Which link? Are you able to access this?
Yes, ma'am, it is accessible.
Okay. So just do get started for free for the teachers. You can just log in with the email, continue with Google. You can give with your Gmail account. You can directly go to the tool. Okay, you can get the access. So if you click, are you all able to get this page? So this is for content generation. Okay. So we can see here for content generation here, before we go for this thing, we'll be having the, okay, so we'll be having the subjects. So what subjects you're going to teach, that we can select, right? Whether it is science or social studies or mathematics, language arts, enrichment courses like UHP and all, right? Career and technical training, speech, language and learning. So what subjects we are going to teach, that we can select here. Okay. So let me consider I'm going to teach the science subject, and which level of student we are having, with what is the grade. So since we are all comes under the college level, we can choose the college level students, post secondary college level students. So first and foremost, we need to identify the subjects what we are going to teach, and what is the grade or the level of students we are addressing it for. And then here you can see the different uh, icons available here. They, in every menu we have. So if we want to plan our lesson, because we used to do instructional design or planning our lesson plan we used to say, right? So this is the planning. So under planning we can see lesson seed. If you want to plan for one single lesson or one single topic, this lesson seed will be helpful. If you want to plan for the entire unit, for a subject, if you have 5 units, we want to plan for 5 units, that is could also be possible. What are the topics could be taught first, and how, what are the different ways we need to teach them, and everything could be planned through this unit plan method. Then if we want to know them, what are the prior knowledge required and what are all the scaffolding we need to provide for that lesson, that could be identified through this prior knowledge and scaffolding. And if we want to set the goal for the lesson, that we can use through this learning objective and success criteria. And if we plan for some engaging activities, in class activities, what we are planning, because whenever we say, we need to make the learners engage for most of the learning time, right? So how we are going to, whether we are going to make them engage in a group way or a collaborative way, or otherwise in a individualized personalized way. So how we are going to engage them in with the learning content or the learning activity, that we can decide using the engagement activities. And now we are going to measure whether they learned it or not. The assessment also could be planned. And also, what are the evidence statement? For example, if we want to showcase or different levels, if we are aiming in for, what are the targets we are setting, and how we are evaluating them, and how we are measuring them, that whether it is properly aligned with the Bloom's taxonomy or not, that could be used through this evidence statement, that is our learning outcome statements. And this is 5E. 5E here, it means engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. How we can incorporate all these 5 elements in our lesson. If you want to design your lesson on this 5E elements, this is also possible with this particular lesson plan. And if it is for a children, Montessori lesson planner is available right now for a, this is for a school children, school teachers. Right now we are not concentrating on that. And here is the most important thing, because all our education students, we need to aiming in for you need to transforming into experiential learning. So if you really want to give that experiential learning, or the experiential learning perspective to the students, we can always use this Gagner's 9 event of instruction. So if we plan our lesson for this Gagner's 9 event of instruction, because if we want any students to be very skillful, the first and foremost, we need to give the platform for them to practice. So in each and every practice, in every iterations, we need to give them a corrective feedback. We need to ask them to evaluate themselves. That is what we call it as reflective practice, right? So they need to evaluate how they are performing, identify the gap, and overcome it in the next process by means of adopting a new way. And they need to do this process again and again, so that they'll become an excellent or an efficient a skillful person at the end of the time. So how we are going to create it, that is what this Gagner's 9 event of instructions. And also we have a learner centric approach, because all OBE talks about the learner centric approach, right? So this is the thing. So if you just give some keyword, for example, I'm going to teach a topic, you can give a prompt. It's like AI, right? We need to give a prompt. For example, I'm saying just I'm going to do a lesson plan on the topic. Say suppose I'm going to give it on electric vehicles. Types of vehicle, types of EV, then control techniques, charging techniques, cost of the product, something like that. So these are the some of the keywords I'm just giving. I'm just giving it to add to workplace. So before that, I'm just giving keywords. I need to go for a unit plan. So these are the keywords. Based on the keywords, or otherwise we can choose entire unit. For example, okay. So let me take, this is the unit 1 of an electric vehicle subject. So let me plan for this. I can give a prompt like present me the unit plan for the following contents along with the specified learning outcomes, activities, and assessment methods. Note the complete. For example, based on the credit, if it is a 3 credit course, mean for 1 unit, we have only 9 sessions, right? So that also we can provide. That we can present me the unit plan for about 9 sessions for the following contents. Here I can type it as also mention the specified learning outcomes, activities, learning activities. an assessment method. So we just need to click on add to workspace. So now are you able to get, we are getting the lesson plan outcomes. So session one, it's about introduction to electric vehicles. The learning outcomes also given very clearly. Identify and describe the different types of electric vehicle. Explain various control techniques used in electric vehicle. Analyze different charging techniques. Okay. So the learning activities, what learning activities we can give? Either we can give a short review or what are the fossil fuel available, why we are switching into electric vehicle, this kind of questions we can ask, and group discussion, shift towards electric vehicle. So these are the activities we can plan during this lesson. And what is assessment method? We can go for an exit ticket. This is a strategy, like a teaching method. So one key takeaway from the classroom discussions, we can ask the students to write it in a sticky note and paste it in the board when they go out. This is what we call it a sticky note. Probably you might have seen in my presentation where students were sticking some papers on the board, right? So this is like an exit ticket. And session two, type of electric vehicles. So for that, what is it? We'll give a lecture about different methods. So we are teaching and we are giving a group activity on comparing the different type of electric vehicle and preparing a chart or mind map or distinction between the two different types of EV. And assessment method is we can plan for a quiz. Okay. So like that, if you see, we have asked them to plan for 9 sessions. So it is giving the entire plan for 9 sessions. For example, if we want to plan the same thing with the engagement activities, right? So I'm just giving this engagement activity and I'm clicking on same add to workspace. Now see how this AI is giving the tool. So like that we can see, for example, if we want to run this thing as a game based mode, right? So game based mode, I want to go for a bingo style. So the bingo style, I want to conduct the same, for example, session one, control techniques, bingo style. Present me a game based learning activity to teach the control techniques of control techniques are applicable in electric vehicle. So being a subject expert, you know what activity you're planning to give. So if you give just tag to work space, this is a game-based learning. For this bingo-based game, so it is game. What is regenerative braking? What is PID controller? So this is a tab, and for every tab we have a questions. So this is the call sheet. So if the students are picking, for example, load management. So here there may be a question on load management. What is load management and how does it influence energy efficiency? So like a quiz kind of thing we can ask the students. Okay. So this is a tool. You can just explore this tool and this will be really helpful for the teachers to actually plan their class in a very engaging and a very effective way. Is there any doubts in this tool? You want me to share? Is there any specific questions on how to use? Because this is just a, if you use only, we'll be knowing about this tool and how we can use this and all, right? So just take time to explore this particular tool. This will be really helpful for you to plan your lesson in an effective and engaging way. If you have any specific queries on how to use this ICT tools or how to select a tool, we can I can address, because you're also 12:15. Probably, if I could answer your queries, it will be helpful for you rather than I'm just showcasing. Because if you practice only, you'll become master. Otherwise, if I am practice, I'll only be the master and not you, right? So probably you can explore, and if you have any queries, you can put me the message either through my email ID or through Dr. Karthikeyan sir. I'll definitely help you. Ma'am, shall we have a question answer session? If you have any specific queries, and I'm happy to address. So these are different review game, Jeopardy style. Have you heard about this Jeopardy style? Is there any specific queries? I just saw someone has raised. Any specific queries? Am I audible? Do you want me to showcase any specific options here?
Ma'am, there are few questions in the chat box, ma'am.
That is why, ma'am. I'm just looking in for questions only. How to save the given content? Okay, sure. It could be saved just by copying, ma'am. I'll just show you. This I want to copy. That means here is the box, right? Just copy this thing, and you can save it in any Word file. Just paste it. It will pay. You will get the entire content listed. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. It is created the content automatically, just giving a prompt. Yes, ma'am. Because it is an AI, right? So we need to give a prompt. Based on a prompt, it will generate. There is one more button called enhance here. You can probably you see this enhance button, right? 1 second, please. Here you have enhance, right? So if you feel you're giving the prompt very roughly, and if you want to enhance this, if you just click on here, this enhance button, this will enhance. For example, in the planning. Lesson mean the learning outcome statement. It reaches 15 out of 15. Okay. So here is the limitation of this free tool is this first time you can we'll get only in a day we can have maximum 15 prompts in a day. So that's why it is not, it is disabled, it is asking for upgrade. So you can just what do you call, in a day, if you are exceeding this 15 prompts, then you can go for an alternate. I'll just log out and I'll log in with other email ID. If I want to enhance the statement, this will enhance and they will enhance. See, develop a comprehensive lesson plan that explore different types of electric vehicles, including new technology, environmental impact, and market trends, while fostering a critical thinking and discussion among peers. So if you're not able to write a prompt properly, this also will give us a proper prompt, right? And after that, we can give on add to workspace. So this will give a very specific lesson plan for us. This is just for a topic, one session. This is for the entire unit. Okay. Any queries, ma'am? Any other queries? So if you're not able to give a right prompt in the beginning, so don't worry. Even the tool will help you to prepare a proper prompt. So whenever you give a prompt, just copy the prompt, and if you look into the prompts in a day-to-day practice, you will become an expert in giving a prompt to the any AI tool, so that it will give the precise output with the less time. So today we have learned about two tools. One is Idea Board, another one is EduAid AI. So with this, we can able to create the lesson plan, and also we can able to create a collaborative or engaging brainstorming sessions during our class time. So if you have any specific queries, I'm happy to address. Otherwise, we can wind up. Ma'am, is it okay, or
Ma'am?
me to continue the session? Because if I give more things, they'll
Ma'am, I
be.
guess this is, yeah, yeah, I guess this is for fine for today, ma'am, I guess.
Okay,
Might be tomorrow if next session like we can replace with the other few contents, ma'am.
definitely, ma'am, definitely. So if you have any specific queries on how to select the tool and all, if you have any doubts, it's open to you and you can ask me. Because if you just type it in Google or in a chat box, chat GPT, it will list many tools, right? But how to use a tool, how effectively we can use it, what kind of teaching method we need to apply, how to know our learners, it's very important.
Ma'am, is that possible to give the content in PPT
Definitely.
format, or
Yes,
you can
ma'am.
share
I
the?
will share to Karthikeyan sir. You'll get from him, ma'am. No problem.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Definitely, I'll share the links, ma'am. No problem. Then shall we wind up, ma'am? If there is no question.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I think there is no question. So, thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us your talk today. It was so informative, and you have given so much of insightful thoughts to us about the ICT tools and how to use them, and what is the purpose of the ICT tools in the learning management system. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us the overview of everything, and we could learn from this. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. This one particular tool, EduAid, it's enough for the teacher to find out what kind of learning, how to begin with, what are the, for example, how to have a plenary session, how to have your concluding sessions, and everything you can decide. Even the assessment also, it's possible to do with the same tool. I request all of you to spend some time to explore this particular tool and make best use of the tool. Okay, instead of telling so many tools of just of the same purpose, this one particular tool will be very much helpful for the teachers to plan your classes. And I wish you all a very happy and prosperous new year. Happy new year to all. Best wishes to all. Thank you so much for your patient listening and wonderful interactions.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy New Year, ma'am.
Happy new year. Happy new year to all. Thank you. Shall I quit, ma'am?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you all. Wish you all a very
Thank you,
happy
ma'am.
new year. Thank you. Thank you.
The participants' feedback link will be posted in some time. Kindly hold on to the session so that you can fill the feedback link. Dear participant, feedback link has been posted in the fill your feed. New link has been posted. Kindly check the new link.